Everyone in that room saw a poor old man, so they grabbed him, they humiliated him, they threw him out, not knowing who he really was. It was early morning in Miami. The city was stirring to life, the sun spilling golden light over the streets. At the heart of one of the most luxurious districts stood Imperial Motors, a showroom of wealth and prestige. Cars gleamed under bright lights, Mercedes, BMWs, Hondas, each worth millions, polished to perfection, standing as symbols of status and power. Walking slowly toward the entrance was an elderly man. He wore a simple white suit, carried a modest cloth bag over his shoulder, and moved with deliberate calm. His eyes, however, drew attention. They were steady, focused, and unshakable. There was something in them that commanded quiet respect, even before a word was spoken. Inside the showroom, staff were arranging brochures, checking displays, preparing for the day. And then he appeared. A security guard stepped forward, his voice cautious. "Sir, only customers are allowed here." The man smiled softly. "I've come to make a purchase," he said simply. Laughter rippled through the staff. A simple old man, modestly dressed, wanting the most expensive car. Yet he ignored them. He didn't rush. He didn't argue. He walked calmly inside, each step measured, confident, deliberate. Abigail Mara, the showroom manager, prided herself on knowing who was serious and who wasn't. At first glance, she prepared to dismiss him. But the man's posture, his calm gaze, stopped her. "I'm here to see the most expensive car," he said, steady and unwavering. The staff exchanged incredulous glances. The most expensive car, a brand-new on-rails X9, worth $3.5 million, was unveiled before him. The elderly man examined it carefully, running a hand over the polished surface, crouching slightly to inspect the wheels, leaning close to listen to the engine. He asked detailed, thoughtful questions, questions that none of the staff expected, questions that revealed a mind sharp and aware. Then he requested to meet the owner. The staff exchanged whispers, disbelief written on their faces. Who did he think he was? What gave him the right? But he remained patient, polite, and resolute. He didn't raise his voice, he didn't insist. He simply waited. A young employee, Ravi Tiwari, watched quietly. Ravi was new, often overlooked and unassuming. But he noticed something different about the old man. There was dignity in his patience, wisdom in his calm, power in his humility. When the old man handed him an envelope asking him to deliver it to the manager, Ravi felt the weight of the responsibility. Not just of the paper, but of the lesson it carried. The very next day, the man returned. Company officials personally escorted him into the showroom. His presence was commanding, yet not boastful. Every step carried authority. Every glance, quiet confidence. It was Simon Shekhawat, the legendary co-founder of the brand, unseen publicly for decades. The staff froze. Abigail's confidence faltered. The arrogance she had relied upon to control the showroom suddenly seemed hollow. Shekhawat reviewed the records, watched the footage, and saw the truth. The staff had laughed at a man who deserved respect. They had judged him by appearance rather than character. The consequences were immediate. Abigail was removed from her position. Ravi, who had demonstrated honesty, courage, and integrity, was promoted to assistant manager. A new culture took root in the showroom, one built on respect, humility, and character, rather than appearances and status. Ravi carried the lesson with him, learning to see people not for their wealth or clothing, but for their heart, their actions, their integrity. Years later, Ravi returned to the showroom and noticed an envelope on the very on-rails X9 the old man had first arrived in. Inside was a single line written simply but profoundly. "When everyone knows you, remain the same as you were when no one knew you." It was a reminder that true greatness is not measured by wealth, fame, or recognition, It is measured by patience, humility, and integrity, especially when no one is watching. Think about it. How often do we judge others by appearances? How often do we underestimate quiet strength, patience, and honesty? The world may doubt you, laugh at you, or ignore you, but the power of character remains unseen until it is revealed in the right moment. The story of Simon Shekhawat and Ravi Tiwari reminds us that true success comes from the choices we make, the respect we show, and the courage we carry quietly within us. Patience, humility, and integrity may not win immediate attention, but they leave a lasting mark, shaping lives, inspiring others, and creating a legacy far greater than any title, position, or material possession. So remember, walk with calm confidence, treat others with respect, even when they doubt you. Choose courage over fear, honesty over convenience, humility over arrogance. Because one day the world will notice. One day your character will shine when it matters most. Comment below where you're watching from. Like this video. Subscribe to Shadows of Story. Turn on notifications because there are countless stories waiting, stories that can inspire, challenge, and remind you that greatness is not in wealth, but in the way you live, the values you carry, and the integrity you hold when no one is watching. And always carry this lesson with you. When everyone knows you, remain the same as you were when no one knew you. I write it for my YouTube automation channel, Shadows of Story, how it